Okay, everybody, here we go. It is me, Gregory Mannarino, Friday, January 19th, 2024. Can you believe it? I can't believe time is just going so freaking fast. Anyway, let's talk. This is my pre-market report. Let's start off with this. It's just a joke, and the joke is on you, and the joke is on me. So loving, caring, they're so fantastic. They're out there, they're doing their job, they're working for us. I'm talking about Congress here. They did pass this stopgap measure to fund the government for another month and a half or so, and we'll be right back where we are now. All this is, it just doesn't stop. It's just too incredible. Another kick the can down the road. Here's the situation. They can't tell you why. We can't have a budget. Again, this thing must balloon and grow. More cash must be pulled into the now in growing numbers. You know that. But they can't tell you this. None of them can tell you the truth. But that's a fact. But again, hundreds of billions of dollars for war and more war. Oh, hold that thought. So we got this very, I almost want to say, ominous warning from our illustrious, beautiful man of a president. Oh, absolutely. And what is that? Read between the lines. What did he say? The airstrikes in Yemen against the Houthis, they're not working. So a lot of people, they're up in arms and they're jumping and they're doing little cartwheels. Oh, President Creature Biden, he admitted that these airstrikes are not working. What is he really telling you? What is he really saying here? It's going to get a lot more intense and a lot worse. Again, people, look, now you've got people like Jim Cramer out this morning on CNBC talking about how the Houthis attacking shipping in the Red Sea is going to hurt the Federal Reserve's mighty efforts here to stop inflation. See, look, you have no idea how much that made my blood boil. All right, look, what do you and I know for a fact? The Federal Reserve is not in any kind of an inflation fight, as Jim Cramer wants you to believe. The Federal Reserve has been raising rates for one reason, and one reason only, to cut off the availability of credit to small businesses as well as destroy the consumer. It has nothing to do with stopping inflation. I told you since day one, we discussed it right here, that the Fed can raise rates from here to infinity. It's not going to stop inflation from continuing to rise. As a matter of fact, by their own numbers that they tell us every freaking week, inflation continues to rise and goes higher and higher and higher. Imagine my shock, imagine your shock. You and I nailed this to the wall since day one. But of course, you got, Jim out here shilling for the Federal Reserve. Oh, it's gonna hurt their inflation fight. Oh, that's another thing. So our illustrious, beautiful man, I can't stress to you how beautiful that man is. Bidenstein, the mummy creature sitting behind the Resolute desk, he's going to forgive about another $5 billion in student loan debt. Now, I don't know where you stand on this, okay, but there's no free lunches, okay? There's no forgiving anything. This cash immediately gets added to the national debt, and we pay, and we are paying through the nose here. Of course, more cash, obviously, created out of nothing to service the debt. There are no free lunches. When are people going to wake up? But they're not going to. It's just an incredible situation here. But anyway, so I think what we need to do, and this is no surprise to you, nor me, okay? This ominous statement this morning, this admission by the freak, the supreme freak. Actually, the supreme freak is Jay Powell. He comes in a close second here. I'm talking this. I can't stand the man. Okay, look, maybe I have a bias against him because I just frankly don't like him and I think he's a liar. The whole entire system has become so corrupted and twisted, and there's still some people that believe the system works. Like our votes count or anything. I don't believe that. Okay, and there's no way you can convince me of that. But that's just my opinion. You're entitled to your own here. But when you have this creature admitting, see, nothing in politics happens by accident. When you hear a thing like that, oh, the airstrikes are not working, that means you can expect something much more dramatic, as you and I knew was happening anyway. Do we not expect that war in 24 is going to greatly expand the funding for blank checks for Israel, Ukraine, and everything else, but we can't fund our own government? We got to kick the can down the road. And what do people do? Nothing. They shut their mouths. They don't say anything here. It's amazing. But that's just the situation. What else would you expect? And then Jim Cramer. Oh, this is hurting the Federal Reserve's efforts. They're really fighting inflation. You know they are. You know they are. Jim, dude, quit. Stop. You know, I know you need the job, probably, bro. Stop with this, okay? Everyone knows what's going on here, and you do too, buddy. But you got to sit here and lie to the people like that? I think it's just pathetic and disgusting. And it lets us all know what kind of person you are, sir. Anyway, people, let's talk about this market a little more. So we're seeing a phenomenon occur. I don't think it's going to last. Again, I'm talking about the sell-off here in the debt market. I really don't think so. I'm not saying that the 10-year yield is topping out here, but I wouldn't be surprised if we're close to that, and it's going to drop. Again, look, what's happening here is pretty simple. You got all this back and forth talk about what the Federal Reserve is going to do moving forward. Are they going to cut rates? They're not going to cut rates. They're going to cut rates? They're not going to cut rates. You know, and then you got the creatures themselves, Federal Reserve presidents being floated out, doing the same kind of thing. This guy says one thing, this freak on the other side says something else. You understand? It's a game that they always play. It's just standard procedure here. The fact of the matter is the Federal Reserve is going to cut rates along with central banks around the world. It's going to happen because, again, why? They got the economy by the throat. The economy is dead, it's buried, and it's going to get buried deeper. The consumer is done. That was their goal working forward here. They're out here destroying the economy by design to become the lenders and buyers of last resort. This has been the goal of central banking since their inception here. This is what it's all about, so they can have full control over everything. They already control the economy. They already control the financial markets and the entire financial system. It's not Joe Biden's economy. It's the Federal Reserve's economy. And no matter what happens with regard to the currency, whether it's a central bank digital currency or what we have now, which is already 99% digital, it's not going to change anything, okay? Sounds nice on a campaign trail, like, you know, we talked about yesterday, but I ain't going to make no difference. There's no way. We can't not be free if we have to live under the rulership of a central bank who controls it all. But no presidential candidate is going to tell you that. Sorry. You may hope they will. You may think in the background that that's what they're trying to tell you because it's a signal, it's a sign from God. No, it ain't happening, okay? Just so you know. Come down to reality here. And unfortunately, things are going to get a lot worse moving forward. And whoever they choose to put behind the resolute desk, I tell you right now, the market wants Donald Trump. There's no doubt about it. A Donald Trump presidency would be very positive for the stock market. Absolutely, just like it was last time. Go back to before the Trump presidency. I was on Greg Hunter's show, and I said, watch what's going to happen if Trump wins his first time. I said the market's going to take off. Exactly what happened. The market would take off again in a massive way. And we can expect a lot more easy money. We know where he stands on this. He likes the weaker dollar. President Trump, he likes, in fact, calling for negative bond yields. Massively positive for the stock market. Not that he really, look, the Federal Reserve chair serves at the pleasure of the president. Obviously, we know how that really works here. But there's no doubt in my mind, and it shouldn't be in yours either, that a Trump presidency, another one here, would be extremely positive for the market. And I can tell you what I will do. I'll be getting much longer now. I'm already buying this market every chance I have on any dip that comes along here, because I really believe in my heart of hearts that bond yields are coming down. The game is going to remain risk on. Again, this is a selection cycle, and if Trump is selected, you can expect this market to take off. You can also expect, again, distortions across the spectrum of asset classes to get even more profound, much more profound than they are now. But look, this is a game, and I think we all hip to it. We just gotta get on the right side of it, at least from a financial standpoint. from everything else, again, look, we got that covered too. And I'm going to leave you off with what later? Love each other, care about each other, be charitable. That's what it's all about, okay? We got to form alliances with each other. We're not each other's enemies, okay? And look, it makes me so disappointed when I read the comments here and I see how much people hate each other, how they've fallen through those trap doors here. It's these people's fault. It's these people's fault, blah, blah, blah. No, it's not that at all. They want you to believe that, of course. And maybe some of you actually do. But again, it's because you've been programmed. The television has gotten to you. Your brain has been twisted into a reality that is not real. And that's exactly what this whole thing is all about too. It's about leading the public down a rat hole into a control mechanism which has been used on the people since forever. It's just not going to stop. Anyway, going back to the market here, you got stock futures higher this morning. 10-year yield slightly lower than the close yesterday. Let's keep our eyes on the 10-year yield. The dollar this morning on a relative strength basis is slightly lower. The MMRI came slightly down. Mannarino Market Risk Indicator, again, free to everybody on this planet. Best real-time market indicator that you're ever going to find. Link in the description of this video. All right, it's free for everybody. Utilize that resource, especially my Lions. I know all of you do. You got gold and silver this morning catching a bid. Trading to start for about an hour and 26 minutes from the time I am doing this. Crude oil under a little bit of pressure. That's where we stand, people. Let them do what they got to do. And again, with regard to this I'm laughing. This stopgap measure. It's a stopgap. It's a stopgap. It's not a kick the can down the road. But again, much more funding for war. And this war here, listen to what the creature said about it's not working. Okay? The U.S. airstrikes are not working. So that means they need a change of tactics. And they're going to do something else. Just be ready for it. I'm telling you right now. You know it already. You knew it already. You're laughing. When you heard it say that, I know some of you were like cheering, oh, look, Biden's an idiot, and he had admitted that his airstrikes aren't working. What he's really saying is wait till you see what's coming next. This guy here loves you a lot. I mean that from the heart. If you got something out of this video, I want to hear from you. Please comment. Let me know what you think. All right, am I off base? Am I on target? You decide. I'll see you later, 4:05 p.m. Eastern for my live stream. I'm looking forward to that.